about New Jersey, I can't see why they don't do it down here.
And last time I was up there was more four-wheelers in the truck lane than there was trucks. Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. We are back at work today, and it was a pretty decent weekend. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Father's Day was this weekend. This is technically my first Father's Day, even though little Kenzie's not born yet, but it's inevitable now. So this is my first Father's Day, and I got to enjoy 2 days of it. Saturday we had a cookout with my wife's side of the family, and then yesterday we went to her parents yesterday as well, and then we went to my grandma's house and had a dinner with my side of the family. Now, I hope everybody had a good weekend. We supposedly had a tropical storm come through last night, but it kind of got on up and out of here kind of fast. It's been 3 days since I posted anything. I had a video that was supposed to come out Friday, but it went a direction I didn't want it to go. I mean, I recorded it, edited it all down, and had it, you know, set to post at noon Friday, and at 11:46 I went and deleted it off. It just went somewhere I didn't want it to go. It's not the direction I want to take this thing, so I didn't post it. Maybe at some point I'll put it up here, but as for right now, I'm not going to. We got 2 tires flat. We had 2 this morning that were down. One was off the rim, and the other one was all the way on the ground. I'll put that picture here. And they went and got the cheetah tank out, and they popped that one back on the bead. And we got some air put in both of them. Now we're gonna go up here to the tire shop, and we'll get them both changed out. And then we gotta go to Kinston, and that might be all we have today, because I've been sitting here an hour and 45 minutes, you know, waiting on tires and getting that stuff fixed. I forgot my sunglasses today, so this is gonna be a squinting kind of day. I just realized I forgot them too, and that usually happens on Monday mornings, because I'll wear a different hat over the weekend, put my sunglasses on that hat, and then I go to grab my work hat while I'm still tired and wanting to be in the bed, and I forget to grab my sunglasses. So we're going to be squinting all day today, but we're on our way to the tire shop. I'm going to put you on a time lapse, and I'll see you when we leave there. Alright, so we ended up getting 2 tires changed, and I ended up getting some sunglasses because the sun decided it wanted to come out. These aren't really my style of sunglasses, but they're gonna do what we need them to do today. Just keep me from getting a headache. But we changed plans up. We're not going to Kinston anymore. I think the loader down there is still down. So we're gonna go down to Clinton, North Carolina. It's actually a little further of a ride, especially from here. They gotta kind of backtrack a little bit back towards work from where Colony's at to get to Clinton. We're gonna pull out in front of some people here in just a second. If this car would come on, bro. But yeah, we got backtrack back towards work so we can get back to 95, and we'll hit 95 and go down to Dunn, and we'll hit US 421 in Dunn and go over to Lee's Auto in Clinton. A little bit of a ride. It's gonna take us about an hour and a half, and I'll come back up here when we get there. Clinton here. And I'm really hoping that they're not on lunch when I get here. Because if they are, it's going to be 1 o'clock probably before he starts loading us. That'll leave us getting out of here about 1:30. It's about an hour 25 minutes back to the yard from here. Which I'm pretty positive I'm only going to have one run today. We didn't get out of Colony till 10:30 this morning. And then, like I said, I had to basically double back to get back 295 so I could come down here. But man, it's been a long time since I've come down this way. And it's a long ride. I mean, it's not like Edenton going up to My Tech, which I think we went to. But it's still a good little ride down here. And there's a lot more highway patrol down south of the state than there is north of the state, at least as far as I've seen. And I've gone up and down the, eastern Piedmont of North Carolina, or coastal plains. I think it's the coastal plains. Anyway, I've gone up and down, all the way south to Fayetteville, Lumberton area, all the way up to into Virginia. And there's more DOT and like sheriff's departments, well not sheriff's departments, but more DOT and more sheriff's deputies down here in the southern part of the state. And I kind of wonder why that is. Now you don't see them as much on the back roads up north of the state, but I just passed one and I got one in front of me right now. You might be able to see him on that camera. It's just the sheriff's deputy in front of me, and I passed highway patrolman about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, it just kind of piqued my curiosity a little bit. Like I said, since when did they start putting flashing lights on student driver cars? That's how one got by me with a little flashing light on top of it. That truck needs to get in his lane. I might have to find somewhere to use bathroom here in a minute. I got pee so bad my eyes just floating. Well, we should be pulling up to Leeds here in about 10 minutes or so. At least I hope so. And man, hopefully they're not on lunch. If they are, I'll come talk to y'all. If they're not, the next video after this you'll see is getting loaded. Alright, well I didn't record any of that getting loaded. But it's now 1:15. We've been here an hour and 15 minutes. And we're finally getting to roll out. I got this big truck in my way trying to get up out of here. But we're going to roll back to the yard. It'll be about 2:45, 3 o'clock when we get back. And we'll get unloaded and we'll weigh this bad girl out and we'll head to the house. It's a relatively short day. It was going to be a long one, man. They had me going 2 long runs. I was supposed to go here second today. And then my first run was supposed to be to a Hosky. And that one just takes a while anytime you go up there. So I'm kind of glad we got out of that. Let's see what we're weighing. I can't even see it. 77,000, about 77.5. Not bad. That's a good little run. We can hit 95 with that one. Now we just got to wait for this guy to come up out of the building here and stamp my scale ticket so I can roll along. It was an hour and a half from Colony, so it won't be quite as long getting back to our place. Man, he must not want to come out of that thing in there because all he did was stick his thumb out the window and I could barely see him. Grab this. And we'll roll on with it. Well, we're going to head back north on US 421. We'll take that back into Dunn. There's a dealership up here in Dunn. And I think the sales manager has fallen down and hit their head on something really hard. Because they have a 2000 Jeep Jeep Wrangler SE base model. It's 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, 5-speed. It looks like it's either been primered or bedlined. It's on stock size tires, no lift. It's completely bone stock. It's got 161,000 miles on it, and they want $16,000. They want $15,997 for it. Just throw that into perspective. My Jeep, when I got it, was 8 years newer. It had 109,000 less miles on it. And they wanted 21 for my Jeep. That little TJ, which is what we know it as, people that do Jeep stuff, it's a TJ. It's maybe at most $3,500. They want $15,997. They have fallen and bumped their head. And you can find TJs at that price, but they're usually in 03, 04, or 05 Rubicon, or they're in LJ, which is the unlimited version of the TJ. Like mine's a JK Unlimited or JKU, and then they've got a TJ Unlimited, which is, they call it an LJ for long Jeep. Those you'll find around that price, but most of them are automatic with 4-liter. And if you find a Rubicon LJ, because they're kind of rare, I think they only made like 11,000 of them, you might get those up around where my Jeep was, maybe. But a base model TJ at $16,000, somebody's either looked it up wrong and got their information wrong, or somebody swindled them on a trade-in, because it should not be that much. I don't know anybody that's in the Jeep community that's going to pay $16,000 for a bone stock base model TJ. And I really hope nobody, period, goes up there and says, oh, that's a good price on that, because it is not. I'll take the gas tank off it, though. No, I won't. I've already got one. At some point, I plan on doing because in the JK, especially mine, the gas tank runs down the passenger side. It runs from like right up under the rear seat to up in the front side of the front seat, and it takes that whole passenger side up. Now eventually I'd like to double triangulate my rear, 4-link it, get rid of the track bar, double triangulate, 4-link the rear. And with the gas tank where it is now, the upper arms and the triangulate, or is it the lower? I think it's the upper arms. The upper arms would hit that tank because they'd be long arm, and then they've got to come from the frame rail here. I don't know how I would put that, but say frame rail here, and then they got to sit like this and go to the center of the diff. That's where the upper arms would meet, and then the lower links would sit out like that and angle in to somewhere in the center of one cross member up there somewhere. But I would like to do, at least, I've got the TJ tank, and if it's a 05 or 06, let's see, they make it 06, didn't they? Maybe they did. Anyway, the later years of the TJ had the same plug as my JK. It's a 4-pin plug. And I would just have to pop the 1st and 4th pin out of my plug on my Jeep and flip them. That's the only thing they changed in the 07s when the JKs came out, was they flipped the 1st and 4th pin. And then that TJ fuel pump should work with my Jeep, because everything else is the same except for the plug. Now if it's like I think it's a 05, 06 or less, then I gotta put a new fuel pump in it that's got a 4-pin. I think the other ones are 3-pin for the lower, and like I said, my plug won't work with that. That's some things I'd like to get done on my Jeep. I just gotta try to find some time to do it. I think me and my wife and her parents this weekend are going to go out and look for my wife a new car. Look for Bethany a new car. She's got a little 2-door right now, a little Pontiac G5, and baby will be here in 2 months. We gotta find her something with 4 doors. She'd like an SUV, but even just a 4-door car would work better than what she's got right now. I mean, we practiced, you know, I think we took 15 pounds of weight and put it in the car seat, and we both, you know, pulled it in and out a bunch of times. And it's not hard, but I could see where it would get annoying. You know, you got diaper bags and all that stuff you gotta try to pull out at the same time. Like, we can do it, it will work, but it's not ideal. On my Jeep, it's easy to do. I just throw the back door open and grab it out. For her car, it's difficult, but doable. It's not impossible. Plus, another bad thing about her car is her back window. It's where it slants in. It comes up so high that the sun would be right there in the baby's face, and her air don't work as good as my Jeep does. She'll even tell you that. So we're gonna go look for her a new vehicle this weekend. Try to find something reasonably priced. It definitely won't be a 2000 TJ for $16,000. We gotta go find her something. That's the plans for this weekend. Next weekend, I think that's the 3rd. I don't know if we have anything to do that weekend, so I might get up with Thomas and see if he wants to TJ swap the old Jeep. There's not really a whole lot that needs to be done. You gotta extend the fuel lines, you gotta extend the fuel pump wiring harness. Gotta take the filler neck off the TJ tank and cut it and spin it so it lines up with the JK filler neck. And then you gotta shave some of the body panels. You gotta shave a little bit off the body mount, and then you gotta cut an access to the top. So I might see if I can find a piece of steel that we can cut out and put on hinges back there, so I don't lose any cargo space and don't, you know, hit anything on the fuel tank itself. And then have an access panel, so if I do have to replace a fuel pump, it's just, you know, flip that access panel up and pull the fuel pump out, put a new one in. Excuse me. That's some stuff I want to do. I also want to try to get some DOM tubing. It's my 1.5 inch. I think it was 3/8 wall. Maybe, yeah, I think that's what it was. I can't remember. I want to 4-link it, but I would rather 1-ton it first and then 4-link it. That would make more sense, especially if I was going to go big tire. You know, 3-link in the front, 4-link in the rear. Go 40s or bigger, you might as well go 1-tons at the same time. So that would be a 1-tons getting the brackets. But the kit I've been looking at for the 4-link comes with the axle brackets and the frame side brackets. It comes with the Heim joints, and then you have to buy the tube separately. That's some stuff I want to do. Those are some plans I have for at some point in the Jeep's life. We're gonna mosey on, and I'll talk to y'all in a minute. I'm glad I'm not headed southbound right now. Man, they got them backed up, son. They got something going on south of the 79, I think it is, or 73. It's got these boys way backed up. That's looking like a mess over there, and I'm glad I'm not in it. Southbound, y'all gonna be coming to a big backed up right there, south of the 75.
What's going on?
I got on at the 73, so I'm not 100% sure, but they are stopping. They look to be backed up a ways.
Thursday, I can't see why they don't do it down here.
And last time I was up there was more four-wheelers in the truck lane than there was trucks.
Absolutely, they call that lack of enforcement.
10-4, take it easy, driver.
You too.
And that, my friends, is why we keep a CB radio in the truck. Because now everybody within a few mile radius of me knows that they got a radio in their truck. They know, hey, I'm doing 70 right now, but I know as soon as I get up into 76, 77 mile marker, I need to be watching out for folks slowing down. And that's how you keep from trucks plowing into cars and cars plowing into people. I think at least every trucker should have a radio, and they should have that radio on. Now, right now, I've got my RF gain turned down, but this whole time I've been driving and recording, that radio's been turned all the way up. Now, ain't nobody was talking on it. Had they come across and keyed that mic up, I would have heard them. But see, it's quiet. I understand people don't want to hear it, and like they don't want that static. And I've got it in another video. All you got to do is turn that squelch up and pull that RF gain down a little bit. Like, I'll turn my squelch off. That's normally where I keep my RF gain, because we got some big radios on the yard. But you can barely hear that. But this is how loud it is if I turn it up. I can hear that fine. If I've got my radio on and my radio turned up, I can still hear that radio. And then I'll pause what I'm listening to and I'll see what's going on the radio. That is the best thing that any trucker could have in their truck, is that radio. And like I said before in that previous video, you do not have to talk on it. But please, Lord, listen to it. It'll save you countless headaches. We're out here, we got a Landstar truck getting ready to come up on our right. You're gonna see him probably right now. And man, I thought fast drivers out on the highway was a danger, but that man's running 58 miles an hour out here on 95. And he was just riding his brakes down the hill. So I guess he don't want to go no faster than 58. Now I don't know if that's a Landstar policy that they have, if their trucks are supposed to be limited to 58 miles an hour. But doing 58 out here on 95 for anybody up and down the East Coast that's driven on this road, 58 miles an hour is about 20 mile an hour too slow. Now my truck only runs 72, but at least I ain't only running 60. That's just dangerous, man. He had traffic all backed up, people trying to pass him. You got a 65 mile an hour Snyder truck over in the right-hand lane, which he's, or over in the left-hand lane, which he's back in the left-hand lane now. He's gonna be left lane gang at 65 miles an hour. And that's dangerous. And while I'm on the subject of slow trucks on the highway, I'll never understand 63 mile an hour, 65 mile an hour governed trucks. I don't understand truck governors at all. Like, oh, here we go, he's gonna come over and say something. Where you going, driver?
Going out here to draw patrol, what you doing?
Heading back from Lee's Auto. How far south you gotta go?
That's fine, go out here to the other and drop this trailer. I can clean that back that way. There's something jumped out while I wasn't looking, right?
10. Oh. I didn't see nothing down there to bother you. I didn't hear how far south you were going, but down at like 75, they got to back up. Alright, they say fuel mileage, but my truck gets better fuel mileage at 72 than it does at 68. So I don't know if I'll ever understand governing the trucks to such low speeds. Kind of makes me in and out of traffic all day, and then you got cars out here on 95 doing 80, 85. It's kind of hard for me need to slip on out there in the left lane and get around them. Alright, so we're getting ready to pull back up at work here. And I think this is the only one we're going to have today. It's 1:45. We've done a couple hundred miles today, almost. 10 more miles or 20 more miles and we would have done 200 today. We done put the mileage in. We're going to go dump this load here and we're going to park it and head to the house. I'm going to throw you up top for the dump and I'll talk to y'all when we get back. Do it for today. We only ended up with one run today, which is fine. We still got our at least 8 hours. I will be right back at it tomorrow morning, and I appreciate those who came and watched. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.